Finally, we've got some real hope. After Robert Rodriguez's optimistic update on Alita 2, things are looking even better because it turns out James Cameron isn't just on board for a sequel, but possibly a third Alita movie as well. And here's the kicker: with Avatar 3 set for release in 2025, Avatar 4 has been pushed all the way to 2029. That huge gap gives Cameron plenty of time to focus on directing Alita Battle Angel 2. So with all that in mind, here's everything we know about the movie so far. Robert Rodriguez is still holding out hope for Alita 2, especially after producer Jon Landau's recent comments about the project. The 2019 live-action adaptation, based on Yukito Kishiro's manga, was originally set up for sequels, but Disney's takeover of 20th Century Fox threw everything into uncertainty. That all changed recently when Landau revealed he's been in active discussions with Robert Rodriguez and Rosa Salazar about making a sequel happen. In a chat with Collider, Rodriguez was asked about where things stand with Alita 2. He admitted he wasn't sure if a sequel would ever happen, mainly because when the first movie came out, Disney had just bought Fox, and the transition left Alita in limbo. But now that Fox movies are starting to come out again, he's feeling more optimistic. He also confirmed that talks are still ongoing and that James Cameron has already outlined a second and third film, so there's definitely a plan in place. Here's what Rodriguez had to say. "I mean, movement other than us talking about it? You know, I just wasn't sure it was ever going to happen because even when the first movie came out, Disney had just bought Fox, so even our marketing people, everybody, were gone by the time that movie came out. And then there wasn't any Fox movies being made for years because Disney was still busy making their own Disney stuff. But now I've seen some Fox movies come out, so that gave me hope. And then when John mentioned that, and then James Cameron and I have been talking that we always wanted to do an Alita sequel. He outlined very thoroughly a second and a third film, so there's already material there. So yeah, we're hoping that that will happen, but nothing more definitive than that." James Cameron has also been passionate about bringing Alita to the big screen for over 2 decades. He originally planned to direct it himself, but with Avatar taking up most of his time, he handed the reins to Rodriguez while still staying on as a producer. And his influence is clear. Rodriguez's final product felt every bit as polished as one of Cameron's own films. Despite some uncertainty in its early days, Alita Battle Angel pulled in over $404 million at the global box office and became one of the most beloved live-action manga adaptations to date. However, it only scratched the surface of the original 9-volume manga, leaving a ton of material left to explore. Now, with Disney focused on maximizing its biggest franchises, Alita has everything it needs to become another major blockbuster series. It's got a passionate fan base, a deep well of source material, and, most importantly, James Cameron's backing. And with Avatar: The Way of Water proving once again that Cameron knows how to deliver a massive hit, Disney should probably trust his instincts. Rodriguez is hopeful that things are moving in the right direction, but fans are still waiting for that official green light. Hopefully, it won't be too long before we hear something concrete about Alita Battle Angel 2 finally getting the go-ahead. That said, James Cameron himself recently dropped a major hint that Alita Battle Angel sequels are in the works. In an interview with Forbes, he casually mentioned his work on Alita while explaining why he sold his California mansion. He didn't share specific details or timelines, but he confirmed that development would happen alongside his work on the next 3 Avatar films. His exact words? "And on Avatar, I'm working in Wellington and Los Angeles, and on the new Alita Battle Angel films, I'll be working in Austin, so it just didn't make sense for us anymore." That's a pretty big deal. Earlier this year, Robert Rodriguez had already revealed that Cameron outlined the stories for Alita 2 and 3, which lined up with months of smaller updates from the cast and crew expressing their eagerness to return. However, as exciting as Cameron's comments are, Disney has yet to make any official announcements about the sequels. One of the biggest reasons Alita 2 has taken so long to get off the ground is that, while the first movie made $405 million at the box office, it wasn't exactly a massive runaway hit. It made its money back, but didn't break records. Then, to complicate things further, Disney acquired 20th Century Studios, which put many Fox projects in limbo. Still, Alita has built a strong cult following over the years, and the continued demand for a sequel from both fans and the original cast gives Disney a solid reason to reconsider. Plus, with Avatar: The Way of Water proving that Cameron still has the golden touch at the box office, his support for Alita carries a lot more weight now. What's really interesting is Cameron's mention of Alita: Battle Angel 3. Typically, studios wait to see how a sequel performs before greenlighting a third installment, but Cameron seems confident enough to already have a plan in place. This raises the possibility that Alita 2 and 3 might be filmed back-to-back, much like the Avatar sequels. If that's the case, and both movies are being developed simultaneously, then an official announcement from Disney might not be far off. If everything is truly lined up for Alita's return, it makes sense why Cameron and Rodriguez are being more vocal about it now. Disney has spent years focusing on its own brands, but as they start making use of Fox properties again, Alita is looking like a prime candidate to be revived. The demand is there, the story is already planned out, and with Cameron actively working on it, the chances of Alita 2 finally happening seem stronger than ever. Now, all that's left is for Disney to make it official. With Alita 2 likely moving forward, the story could finally explore some of the biggest mysteries left unanswered in the first movie. The biggest one? Alita's long-awaited confrontation with Nova. In the original film, Nova was set up as a powerful, almost untouchable figure pulling the strings from above, much like Thanos in the MCU. Now, with Hugo gone and Alita more determined than ever, the sequel could follow her journey to Zalem as she seeks revenge and uncovers the true extent of Nova's control. The final shot of Alita: Battle Angel teased her looking up at Zalem, sword in hand, fully embracing her destiny as a warrior. Alita 2 could take things even further by having her infiltrate the city, meeting new allies and enemies along the way. This would not only expand the world building, but also introduce deeper lore from Yukito Kishiro's Battle Angel Alita manga. Key elements like the mysterious Tuned organization or the mad scientist Destinova could play a much bigger role. Additionally, with Cameron's vision extending to a third movie, Alita 2 might not wrap up everything in one go. Instead, it could set up an even bigger final showdown in Alita 3, mirroring how The Empire Strikes Back raised the stakes for Return of the Jedi. If the sequel ends on a major cliffhanger, perhaps with Alita finally reaching Zalem only to realize the real threat is even greater, then Alita 3 would be the ultimate battleground. With all these pieces coming together, Alita: Battle Angel 2 has the potential to be an epic continuation, and if Destiny plays its cards right, it could turn the franchise into something truly special. And that wraps up today's video. If you want to stay updated on all the latest movie news, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and give us a thumbs up. By doing so, you'll stay in the loop with all our future updates. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll catch you in the next one.